Okay, we are live. So welcome back, everyone. In fact, welcome back, aliens, to the third session. So in the first two sessions, we have talked about the basics of Java. We have talked about variables and operators. In fact, we'll work more on operators today. And of course, the day will start, or the session will start with a Menti. Now, there's only one twist today. In fact, let's talk about what we did yesterday. So we did a Menti at the start. In fact, we did the Menti for the first session as well at the start. But today, there's a small twist. Okay, I can hear myself. Hold on just a second. Great. I was just checking my voice and it is proper. Okay, so today we'll start with a Menti again, but then there's only one twist. So before we talk about twist, the winner for today Menti as well will give away cash prizes again as we did last time. In total, we are giving away 5,000 rupees. The first winner will get 2,500. The second winner will get 1,500, and the third winner will get 1,000 rupees. So that's the prize. And now, what's a twist here? Twist is very simple. The mentees will be doing in two parts. So we'll start with the mentee at the start of the session. And so first 5 questions. In total, we have 10 questions today because we have discussed a lot of topic yesterday. So in total, we have 10 questions. So the first 5 questions will be coming at the start, and the last 5 questions will be coming at the end. Okay. So if you want to win, you have to be there for a long time. And of course, right, I just want to motivate you to learn more because we have this tendency. We start with excitement, but then at between you lose your track and then you go away. So I just want you to learn Java properly, and that's why there are some rewards. So before we start, of course, I've now started the recording, and all these videos will be available on the dashboard. So even before we go to the dashboard, in fact, we start with a Menti. I wanted to show you the dashboard where you will find all the resources. Okay, let me just share my screen. Okay, so basically this is a dashboard of iNeuron. This is where you will find all the resources. Now, what are the resources? I'm talking about the videos and the notes. So whatever notes we are mentioning on my writing pad here will be available for you to access. And also, once we start making complex codes, I will be pushing those codes on the portal. So let me show you how do we access that. So if you scroll down and if you try to access, okay, there's one more announcement since you're watching this. We are coming up with this blockchain course. I have been waiting for this for a long time, and the blockchain course is on the way. And after this session gets over, there's one more session of JavaScript by Hitesh Chaudhary. You can watch that as well, which is free. And let me just go to my course, my community class. And maybe you have enrolled it. This is free. The core Java classes which we are doing is free. And if you want to access the resources, you can access it from here. So go to the course, and for every video, whatever notes we are mentioning, this is our third video, which is happening today. And if I click on the second video, so this is a video which we did yesterday. And if you go down, there are resources tab. So this is where the class notes will be available. And including this, I mean, the notes, the code, everything will be available here. Okay, so now it's time. Okay, so I hope you got the idea, right? How do we access the page? You will find this page in the description. There's a link for the syllabus. You can just click on that, and it will take you to this portal. And this is where you will access all the data. Okay, so before we start with Menti, yes, Menti is on the way. Don't worry, everyone. We'll start with Menti. We'll play the quiz as well. And those things are on the way. But then I just have, I want to take some questions here. Is anyone like Telusko who will conduct live classes? There are a lot of people who are conducting live classes with iNeuron. We have Hitesh Chaudhary, we got Krish Nayak, we got Mukesh Otwani, and everyone is coming up with their own live courses. And you can watch it here. Okay, I know you are waiting for the quiz, and let me just grab you to that Menti. So we'll start the day again with Menti, and then we'll move towards the concepts. Okay, Harsh, can you just share I'm sharing the instruction here. Just a second. So I'm sharing the link in the chat window. You can access the Menti from there. That's one way. The another way of accessing this Menti is using this QR code. So you can just take your phone and scan this QR code. Now, what is this Menti? This is basically a quiz. And if you win this quiz, you will get rewards. So top 3 will get cash prize. I hope you're excited. Okay, timing for JavaScript classes, it will start after this session. Okay, so join Menti everyone. This will be exciting Menti. We have 10 questions. We'll start with 5 questions at the start, and then we'll talk about the topic. And at the end of the session, we'll be going through 5 more questions, and the winners will get cash prize. Come on, everyone. I can see a lot of people have already joined. So again, how to join Menti? You can go to menti.com and you can enter this code. That's one way. The second way is you can scan this QR code. The third way is I have shared a link in the chat. Okay, so Mukesh, Mahesh, no sir, I will start 10 p.m. Okay. Okay, all of you have, I guess, joined this Menti. Let's go for the thing. So let's start with the first question. In fact, we will not start with the quiz. I just want to understand, since you are the subscriber of this channel, I want to know which is your first technology on this platform. You started with, okay, a lot of people are saying Java, Python. So I want to know what technology. Okay, don't enter your city today. It's not about city. Enter which technology you started on this channel. I was expecting Java and Python. I want to explore more. Java 8 as well. That's great. So you directly jumped on Java 8. Data structures, cool. Yes, Spring Boot. We also have some videos on Spring Boot here. Okay, a few people joined because of Menti. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, majority is Java and Python. We also got few people joined because of C language. Spring, JavaScript. That's great. Core Java. What else? So basically on this channel, we have so many videos, So if you can go to the playlist section. So if you go to this channel and if you enter on the playlist section, you will see all the videos, all the playlist of different technology, Java, Python, blockchain. I'm just curious, how many people have seen my Java blockchain series? Okay, JavaScript, Core Java, JVM video, okay. Java Spring MVC, okay. Python, what else? Okay, it's moving so fast. Python Django, okay, so Django series as well. That's good to know. Spring Boot, Django. In fact, in the chat as well, people are mentioning about different technology. We got Rajat says I've written JSP. Jaydeep says blockchain. Anand says MongoDB. Okay, I don't have a MongoDB series. I do have it on NoSQL with Cassandra. Okay, cool. So everyone, please join Menti. I can see a lot of people have already joined this live session. Please join Menti as well so that we can play this quiz. I'm starting this Menti in next 10 seconds. So if you want to join, you can go to menti.com and you can mention that code, or I'm sharing the link in the chat window. You can use that link and you can join. Okay, blockchain, Python, MySQL, Hibernate, okay, Kotlin, NoSQL. That's great. So majority I can say Python and Java, and few people joined because of Telusko. That's nice. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. We are going to start with the quiz, and if you want to win this, please join Mentimeter. The link is available in the chat. Otherwise, you can also use you can also go to menti.com and mention the code. I have again shared the link, the Menti link in the chat. Okay, here we go. The first question coming on your screen, everyone. I hope you're all set and you have to answer very fast. And if you get confused with some question, wait for my explanation and then you can choose the right answer. Okay, Vamsi says, is the Menti created by iNeuron? No, this is my creation. I have created this thing. But the other things, the portal is from iNeuron. Okay, I can see 800 people already joined Menti. That is awesome. Cool. Dheeraj didn't receive second prize. He did. We have also transferred the money yesterday. Okay, cool. So we got, okay, can you just block Karthik here? Hush. Okay, so now we are starting with the first question, which is coming on your screen. I hope you're all set. And the question is, which among the following is not a data type in Java? Tricky question. Okay, remember that not keyword there. That's very important. Not a data type in Java. Okay, and majority of you are saying varchar, and that is great. In fact, so that's good that you remember all the concepts. So yes, varchar is not a part of Java. Any guess where do we use varchar? Okay, let's go for the next question. Second question coming on your screen, and here we go. Second question. I hope you're all set. And the second question is, what is the abbreviation of ASCII? I mean, what's the full form of ASCII? Okay, is it? In fact, when I was doing the trial of Mentimeter, I clicked on the wrong answer because of, it's a bit tricky. Again, let's see if you get tricked there. Okay, so people who voted 190 at 129, which is Australian standard code, when we are in hurry, we do that. So we click on Australian, and that is wrong. It's actually American standard code for information interchange. So the third option is correct. Okay, I don't know why people went for first one. Again, that's why take your time and give right answer. I know giving fast answer is very important, but you have to be also right. Okay. Okay, with these two questions, it's time for our first leaderboard, and let's see who is doing well in the leaderboard here. Okay, almost the top 10 is almost same. You clicked at the right, it's almost same time. And the fastest here is Amit. Congrats, Amit. We also got Shalini, Clippy. And okay, make sure that you give your own name so that it will be easier to pronounce. We got Ayush, Ronald, Aaron, Nikhil, Anmol, Pramol, and Muli. Okay, so I can see some familiar names which was there in the top 10 as well in the last session, but you have to be consistent throughout to win this game. So we are done with two questions, and three more questions are on the way. Okay, we have only done with two questions, everyone. You can still join and you can still win this Menti. Okay, third question coming on your screen. Choose the right statement about Java data type. Is it okay? I will not read the chat. I mean, I will not read the option. It's your job. Do it there because it will take a lot of time to read that. Okay, Shobha says, I missed. I was a bit late. That's why, you have to be on time, 7 p.m. Tomorrow again we'll do that, but do join. Okay, so correct statement is all, right? So integer data types are byte, short, int, and long. Then real numbers are represented with the help of float and double, and the characters are represented with the help of char. So all of the above. Great. So we are done with the third question. The fourth question coming on your screen, everyone. And let's see if you can answer this. Which among the following is not a primitive data type in Java? Okay, that not keyword is important, so focus on that not. Is it char, string, int, or float? Okay, let's see what you will be answering here. Okay, and majority of you are saying it is string, and that is correct. So string is the non-primitive type. It is basically a class. Again, what is class? We'll discuss that later. Okay, and a few people are saying you didn't saw this session. So the thing is, you have to make sure that you subscribe the channel and also hit that bell icon because YouTube takes time to send this notification. So when you hit the bell icon, that's where you will get notified. Okay, and the fifth question. So we will be stopping at fifth question, and then we'll start with the actual session, the Java session, and then we'll come back to Menti once the session gets over. So in total, we have 10 questions, and if you want to win, you have to give all 10 questions right. I mean, you have to present to be answer everything. Okay, and let's see the leaderboard. Who is doing well this time? So we got Shalini on top. Awesome. So we got Shalini, Khushi, Prachi, and that's a girls power, right? That's great, everyone. Okay, so we got top three, and then we got Nikki, Saksham, Manish, Udit. Saksham, is it you? Saksham Chaudhary? Udit, Mohammed, Sudarshan, and we got Henry. I guess it's a fake name. Okay, Shobha, you can still join this session. You can just go to menti.com and mention that code. You will be in the Mentimeter. I can see 800 people already there. Hey, how many questions done? 4 questions, right? Okay, so we got 5th question now. Okay. What is the arithmetic operator in Java that gives the remainder of a division? Is it a pipe? Is it slash? Is it percentage? Is it ampersand, ampersand? Okay, and let's see what you are answering here. Okay, majority of you saying percentage, and that is correct. That means you have seen the earlier video, or maybe you know these concepts before as well. That's great. The answer is percentage, and that is correct. So this is top 5 questions. Let's see the leaderboard, and let's see who did well in the first half. Okay, almost everyone is spot on. We got Shalini, Khushi, Prachi. There's no change in the top 3. Is there any upgrade? Okay, so Sudarshan, you just went down. Okay, that's fine. We still have 5 more questions, but then those 5 questions will be coming at the end of the session. Okay, someone was asking at what time we'll start with the 5 remaining question. Maybe I don't know. Maybe for 7:50 or maybe 7:30. At any point, if I feel you are losing the track, I will just start the Menti and then we'll play the game. Okay. Okay, Lohit says it's not working for me. Menti got closed. What to do, sir? Rejoin. If Menti is closing, you can rejoin the session. Awesome. So that was Menti top 5 questions. Again, we'll come back to Menti after some time. So till that point, let me just put Menti here, and I will come back to Menti after this. Cool. So let me know in the chat window as well how much you are enjoying these sessions, how much you are enjoying the Mentimeter, and hit that like button if you enjoy all these sessions. Okay. Cool. Now it's time for a quick revision what we did in the last session. So basically in the last session, we have talked about data types. We have talked about variables as well. And I want to open my VS Code. Okay, so we have talked about data type. We have talked about variables. We have talked about operators as well. But then we have not seen all the operators. And this is one of the things we have talked about, right? So we did A++++, A, and A minus minus. Okay. Okay, now what I will do is I will remove this part and let's focus on the other part. Okay, so just to give you a high glimpse of the language here. Okay, so basically what happens, when you talk about Java language, in Java language, you have to follow some syntactical stuff. Example, whatever execution you want to do, you can do that with the help of statements. So the statements you can write in the main method, right? So if you want to print something, if you want to add 2 numbers, if you want to send a request to the server, everything will be done with the help of statements. And where you will put all the statements, you will put all the statements in this block. So this is your place where you will put all the statements. And all the statements will be a part of a method. So if you want to execute them, you have to make sure that you put in a method, so the main is a method here, okay? And all the methods will be part of a class. So this is a class, that's a section you want to create, then your method, and then you will put the method, you will put the statements there. Okay, Sai Kiran says target 300 likes for a day 3. No, I'm looking for 1,000 likes. Every session need to have 1,000 likes, and that's my motivation. So make sure that you hit that like button so that I will motivate more to, my energy actually changes based on the views, likes, and your feedback in the chat window. Okay, so now let's do some operations here. So tell me one thing. Can I create multiple methods? So we only have one method here, right? Can I create more methods here? And the answer is yes. You can add more methods. The way we have main, we can create more methods here. But again, we'll see that later. How do we do that? As of now, let's only focus on the operators. Now, yesterday we have talked about few operators, right? We have talked about addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, percentage symbol as well. Apart from this, we have bitwise operator, which we'll see later. I was supposed to say Bitcoin. I'm more into blockchain, so bitwise operator. And we also have something called relational operators. So let me see how relational operators looks like. So let's say I have two numbers here. I will say num1 and equal to, let me just increase this. Okay, so let's say we have num1 and num1 is maybe 4, and then we got num2, which is, let's say, 5. Okay, so we got these two numbers, and then I want to print if 4 is less than 5, I want to print true. So basically I'm going for a Boolean values here. So normally when you talk about Boolean values, they can be either be true or they can be false. So here I want to check if 4 is less than 5. So the way you can do that is by using a less than symbol. Again, basic maths. Okay, and everyone who is spamming, you will be blocked from this thing. Harsh, you're moderating. Don't spam the chat, please. Okay, so we got here. So what we can do is if you want to compare these two values, you can simply say 4 less than 5. So if you want to compare two values, and if you want to say the first value should be lower than the second value, you can simply say less than. Now what it will give you, this symbol here, which is less than, will give you the Boolean value. It will be true or false. So if this condition is true, or if this statement is true, it will give you true. If the statement is false, it will give you false. And how do we check it? In fact, yesterday people were saying, hey, can we use this run button? Yes, you can. I was just using that do statement just to show you how things works out. And if I run this code, it will take some time, and you can see the output is true. Okay, there's one more thing. I just want to reduce this a bit. Let me know if the font is still visible. This looks good to me. Okay, so let me run this code once again, and you can see in the output we got true. This is what we wanted, right? We wanted it to be true. Okay. Right. So we got true. This is what we wanted, right? But what if the value, in fact, why we are using 4 and 5? Can I use a variable name here? Can I say num1? And if I remove this 5, can I say num2? And that is possible, right? Because ultimately this variables has a value there. So in num1 we have 4, in num2 we have 5. And now let's verify once again. Let's run this code. And you can see we got the output, which is true. That's good. But what about if I change this value, which is 7? So in this case, I can run this and you can see we got false. Great, right? Okay, this is cool. Now what I will do is, instead of doing this operation here itself, can I just take it out? Can I just take this portion? Okay, what's wrong with my mouse? Okay, so if I come back here, can I just take those operations outside? How about this? If I say result is equal to, and I'm performing this operation. Now you tell me, what is a type of this result? Is it an integer type? Is it a float type? Is it a Boolean type? Okay, so the answer is it is a Boolean type. So whenever you want to work with true or false, basically you take those two, take the operation. So this will give you true or false, and you can store that in a Boolean format. And then whatever the Boolean format you had, you can print it here, right? And you can run this and it will give you the same output, which is false, because 7 is not less than 5. We can also try that with greater than symbol and it should work. This time it will give you true because we are comparing the numbers and which are correct order. So 7 is greater than 5. Cool. We can do one more thing. What if these two values are actually same? So we got 7 and 7. So in this case, I want to check if the num1, it should be either greater than the second number, or it can be equal to second number. In both the scenarios, I want to make it true. In that case, you can simply put a equal to symbol. So you can say num1 is greater than equal to num. So it will check either it is greater than or it is equal to. Okay, so if I run this code, okay, and you can see we got the output which is true because 7 is equal to 7. It's not greater than, it is equal to. But yes, if you change this value, if you make it 6, in this case, it will give you false because 6 is not less than 7 and it's not equal to 7. So in both the case, it will give you false. Cool. Now let's say I have one more condition here. I want to compare these two numbers, and also I want to check if the second number is not equal to 0. So basically what I want is I want to print true only when the second value is less than the first value, and also the second value should not be 0. So can I put two conditions here? Example, this is my first condition, and the second condition, what I want here is num2 should not be equal to 0. How do we do that? How do we say not equal to? So whenever you want to use not symbol in Java, we use this symbol, which is exclamation. So exclamation is not. In fact, the same thing is available in multiple languages. We can use in C, C++. So we can say not equal to 0. So remember this thing. If you want to say not, you have to give exclamation. So whatever we have learned this point is greater than equal to is relational operators. This not will negate this. It will say not equal to. Okay. But then now we have these two conditions, right? And I want, if both the conditions are true, then only it should give you true. In that case, you will use the logical operator. So basically we have this concept of logical operator, which is AND. So when we say AND, it will check if both these conditions are true. If both these conditions are true, in that case, it will give you true. Let me show you that. If I run this code, we got false. You know why we got false? Because the first condition is false itself. What I will do now is, I will say this is 8. So it should give me true now. So AND basically compares both and basically says both should be true. This should be true. This should be true. Then only it will be true. And you can see we got true. But what if I make this second value as 0? What do you think? If you run this code, it will take some time. And we got the answer, which is false. Now, why we got false here is because this is a false output. So this is true, but this one is false. So if both are true, then only it will be true. Now, basically, I don't know if you have learned about truth table. We did that in maths, right? I used to love this subject, maths, mathematics in 11th. And we used to have this. Let me show you how this looks like. So basically, we have this. We have multiple logical operators. We have one which is ampersand. So we have ampersand, ampersand. We have double pipe, and then we have not. Okay. Now what it does is, okay, there is an issue with Menti. Yeah, Boolean algebra. That's right. Logical gates. Yeah, favorite topic, right? Okay. So basically, let's say we have these three. So what it does is, when you say we have AND, so in AND, let's have some combination. If both are true, if two statements, wherever you want to use AND, if two statements both are true, in that case, it will give you true. If one of them is false, so let's say the first condition is true, second is false, it will give you false. The first condition is false, second is true, still it is false. If both are false, of course, it will be false. What about the OR? OR says, even if one is true, I will take it as a true. Example, if both are true, of course, that's true. If one is false, the first one is false, sorry, first one is true, second is false, it will be true again. The first one is false, second is true, it will be true. And if both are false, in that case, it is false. So only if both these conditions or both the output is false, then only it will be false. What about not? Not simply says, if you give me true, I will give you false. And if you give me false, I will give you true. As simple as that. Okay. So basically this, the statement which I have written here, this is basically AND. and this one is basically OR, and this is NOT. Okay, so basically we have AND operation, we have OR operation, and we have NOT operation. So here, if you can see, if in the code, if you can see, we are using both. We want both to be true, so we have to use AND. But if you have this condition, okay, any one of them can be true. If this is true, I'm okay. If this is true, I'm okay. In this case, you have to use pipe, which is OR. Okay, and now let's run this code. And you can see we got true. Simple, right? Now, even if it is, see, the first condition is true, second is false, still you're getting true is because this is OR. Okay. Okay. Difference between JDK, JVM, GRE, I will talk about that later. Don't worry. Cool. Just one request, everyone, if you're enjoying this session, hit that like button. Okay, that's the motivation. Cool. Now what I will do here is, so we have talked about the logical operators. In fact, in relational operators as well, we have less than, greater than, we have seen that. Now with this, let's perform some operation, or let's do some more things. Now what I want here is, let's say I have two numbers. Instead of printing true or false, okay, let me just write it 7 here. Now I don't want to print true or false. What I want to print is the greatest number. So out of these two numbers, I want to print which is the greatest one. Is it 8 and 7? Now you might be thinking I'm going with a simple concept, and that's the idea, right? If you want to understand the programming syntax, if you want to understand when to use what, simple examples make sense. I don't want to complicate everything just by doing this. And I forgot to do one important thing, which is recording. Good. Okay. So basically we got these values, we got, so let's say we have these two values. Now what I want to do is, I want to print the greatest of these two. Now how do you print greatest of these two? It's very simple. Okay, how is it simple? Basically what I'm trying to do is, let me print both. Let me print num1 and let me print num2. So I want to print num1 when num1 is greatest, and I want to print num2 when num2 is greatest. But the problem is, if I just write these two statements, it will simply print both the values. I don't want to print both the values. I just want to print one value. How do we do that? That's tricky, right? So in that case, what we do is, let's go back to our flow here. See, what happens is, whenever we talk about programming language, we have a flow which we follow. So it doesn't matter which language you work with. In fact, programming itself is all about the flow of the code. You know, normally when you execute statement, let's say this is your first statement which you have executed. Then you go to the next statement, and then you go to the next statement. Now there will be a point where you have to decide what to do next. This is where you have two options. Either you can go this way, or you can go this way. Either you can execute this block, or you can execute this block or this statement. And then you can continue with the statements. You can continue with the statements. And maybe at one point, you want to come back to the same set of statements. Okay. Now, normally this concept is called flowchart, right? Because you decide a flow here. But this is a point where you make a decision. Okay. So this is a point where you make the decisions. Now, in your life, how do you decide something? Example, let's say if you want to buy a new phone, how do you decide which one to buy, right? So we apply different combinations there. Maybe the budget, maybe what type of phone you want, maybe it is Android, iOS. In Android, what exactly you want it for, gaming purpose or just for taking photos, maybe for using it for watching video lectures. So based on your requirement, you choose one thing, right? That's a flow you maintain. You take a decisions based on certain conditions. Example, there's a phone which you want to buy, your budget is only 30,000 rupees. Then you say, okay, let me apply a filter. So all these phones are available in 30,000. This is something which I don't want to go for. So those things are, which is something you can decide here. Okay. In the same way, if you want to do that in the programming terms, what we do is we use the concept of if else. So we'll decide if the condition is true, I want to execute this particular statement. If the condition is false, then I want to execute this particular statement. is as simple as that. If it is true, so whatever you mention in the if condition, if it is true, then it will execute this statement. If it is false, it will execute this statement. Something like this. If I mention true here, straightforward, right? The moment I say true, it will execute this statement, and this will be executed only when it is false. Let me prove it. The moment I run this code, okay, people are talking about what is public static. We'll talk about that later. Just remember that there's a concept of public static which we'll discuss later. Okay, so basically you can see we got the value which is 8. Now why 8? Why not 7? Is because we are saying true. So even if you make the second number as the greatest number, and if this is actually printing a lot of different stuff which I don't want. Let me just type it by myself. And you can see we got 8. But so even if you say the second number is 9, it is still printing 8 is because we are saying true. So instead of true, actually there should be a comparison here. So how do we do it? So we can compare num1. If num1 is greater than num2, in this case we can print num1. Otherwise we can print num2. That's what we wanted, right? So let's compile this, no errors, run this, and you can see we got 9. So basically what we're doing here is we are comparing two values. And when you compare these two values, it will give you true or false. And your if condition actually needs true or false. Awesome, right? Cool. And now, so this is the block we have, right? Now there's one more thing. What if you want to print two statements here? Let's say after printing the number, I also want to print buy or get lost, something like this. Don't do that in the code, but let's say I want to print, so I want to print buy 1 and buy 2. So in the if condition, I want to print two statements if it is true. I want to print the number. I also want to print buy 1. And then in else, I want to print num2 or buy 2. But there's a problem here. See, whenever you have multiple statements in if, since we had only one statement, it was working. The moment you have multiple statements, you need to use a block here. So put the things inside a block only when you have multiple statements. If you have a single statement, you don't need that block there. Simple stuff, right? So remember this thing, in the if block, if you have multiple statements, always use the curly brackets. And this is working fine. Cool. What else we can do? Now let me add one more. Let's add num3. So now we have 3 variables and we want to check which is the greatest one. So what do we do here? Okay, the question is, what is this x? So x basically here means it is actually given by VS Code for the reference purpose. Okay, in fact, actually, this is a good point to start a new IDE. So instead of using VS Code, let's also explore IntelliJ. So remember on first day we have talked about this. Either you can use VS Code or you can use IntelliJ. The way you can use IntelliJ is very simple. Open IntelliJ, click on new project, and we can say this is Java codes. And it gives you multiple options. You can select Java, you can select Kotlin, Groovy, HTML. Okay, we are working with Java. Nothing else to specify, and we got the project here. Ignore all these extra files. Focus on this SRC. This is your main folder which you want to do anything. So what I will do is I will say create new Java class. I want this class to be called hello itself. And I will copy this code which we have written here and paste. Okay. Now you can see there's no X, no confusion. Okay. Cool. Now, Priya says better use VS Code. So the thing is, in the development environment, when you work on the big projects, better IDEs are preferred because IntelliJ is specially designed for Java. It provides a lot of features. So it's good to use this one. Awesome. Okay, so now what we're doing is we are trying to compare these three values, not one, not two. We are comparing three values. Now you tell me what to do. So if I want to print the greatest of these three, what is the solution? Okay. So what we can do is, so basically what we're doing, what we need to do is we need to compare the first value and the second value. So we'll say, okay, num1 is greater than num2 and num3. Okay, so remember this. We are comparing one variable with other two, not one this time. We are comparing with two. So we'll compare if num1 is greater than num2 and num3, then the num1 is greatest. So you can print num1. Otherwise, you can compare num2 with num1 and num3. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we perform multiple checks? So first of all, here we have to check, we have to compare two things, right? We have to compare num1 with num2 and num1 with num3. And if you want both to be true, we need to use a thing in between, which is double ampersand. Okay. Timing, I don't want to print this by 1 by 2. That's only for the learning purpose. Okay. So now we are comparing num1 with num2 and num1 with num3. So we are comparing with both. So we have done with num1, right? What about num2? What if num1 is not greatest? Then we have to compare num2 and num3. But we'll do that later. As of now, let me keep the number 1, num1 as 11. So in this case, I will run this code. How do we run this code in IntelliJ? It's very simple. Right click and say run. And you will get a simple output. Very simple output, right? This is better. Okay. So there's a question from Rakesh. Hello, sir. Is this Java full stack course comes with a job placement? No, this is not a placement course. And if you can see the price, it's only 4,000. What do you want in everything in 4,000? But then the course curriculum is designed in such a way that basically I have designed the course curriculum for the Java course, Java full stack course from the corporate training. So I'm a corporate trainer. So when I go to different companies, big MNCs, whatever the curriculum I teach there in the company, that's what we are going to teach in the live course. So you will be all set to join a big company if you take the course. Oh, right. My face is hiding it. It should be here. Thank you so much for letting me know that. Now you can see the output, I guess. Okay. So basically, when you run this code, you can see we got 11 right here. We got 11. But what if I want my second number is greater? So what if this is 33? Now, in this case, if I say this is 33, you can see we got 33. Even it is working, right? But it might not work when you have the third value as the greatest one. If we do that, you can see we are still printing 33. The reason we are checking for the first one, num1, we are not checking for num2 and num3. So basically, we have to add one more condition here. So just after else, we can also have if. So it is else if, and with this if, you get a power to again compare. But this time we are not comparing num1, we are comparing with num2. So num2 should be greater than num1 and num2 should be greater than num3. If that's a scenario, you will print num2. But what if this is also false? In this case, you can say else and you can print num3. It's that simple. And now let's compare. If you run this code, it should work. And you can see we got 88. But if I change the value, again, if I make this as simple 8, not 88, it should print num2, right? It will do that. And you can see we got 33. So it is working, right? Now there is only one problem with this code. Let me in the chat window, what is the problem which you can see here? We are wasting one condition, one check. Okay, let me give you the answer. So think about this statement. Num2 is greater than num1. Don't you think if this is false, then for sure num1 is not greatest? Then why even we are checking this part? So basically, this is not required. So if you know that this is false, then you can directly check between num2 and num3. And then that should be done. And now if you run this code, you can see we got 3, 3. Okay, so basically what we have done here is we are running if else, if else, if else. Okay. In fact, we can add one more condition here. What if I want to print the number? Example, I'm printing a number here, right? Which is num1, num2, num3. But what if the number, oh, well, let's reverse this. Let's reverse this with, I want to print the smallest number. The only thing you have to change is instead of greater than, let's make it less than. And then we'll, okay, Menti, don't worry. Once we complete this concept, we'll go back to Menti. Stay there. And come on, everyone, hit that like button. That's the motivation we have here. Okay, so basically we are comparing num1 with num2, and then it is working. Let's run, and you can see we'll be getting 8 because that's the lowest number. Now I want to add one more condition. The condition is, if I'm saying the first number is lowest, let's say num1 is lowest, I want to check if num1 should not be 0. Yes, I want to print the lowest number, but it should not be 0. If it is 0, I want to print invalid input or maybe get lost. Something like that. You know, in programming, sometimes we have to create use cases just to understand the concept. Okay, and don't spam anyone. Please don't spam. If you spam, you will be blocked from the channel. Okay. Let's keep it clean. Okay. Cool. So what I want to check is if you say the num1 is the lowest number, let's say if I make it 1, which will be output 1, which is the lowest value, but I also want to make sure that it should not be 0. If it is 0, then I want to print get lost. So what we can do is we can check if, so we have if inside an if, so we can say if num1 is equal to 0. Now that's important. Whenever you want to compare two numbers, always use double equal to. So in Java, when you compare two things, you use double equal to. You know, why not? Why double equal to? Why not single equal to? Is because single equal to is for the assignment. So you assign a value. So if you want to compare, you use double equal to. And now if it is double equal to, what I can do is I can print get lost. Okay. Oh, I know that's rude, but that's fine. So when I say get lost, let's see what's the answer. It is printing 1. Why not get lost? Is because the value is not 0. Let's make it 0. Let's say this is 0. And if I run this code, you can see we got 0. So it says get lost. It is printing 0 because we are not doing anything else here. So I should be printing this only when that is false. So I can put that in else condition. So I will not get 0 output as well. So this is nested if. So basically we are writing if inside the if, that is nested if. Okay. Spam means bombarding of unwanted chat. That is thing. And now it's get lost. That's right. Okay, don't lose the video, but yeah, the output is get lost. So basically we are able to achieve here, which is called nested if else. Cool, right? What else we can do here? In fact, there are certain things which we are going to learn on the go, and that's what I believe. You know, it's not like once we start with if condition that becomes our chapter. We'll learn everything about if. No, that's not how I teach, or that's not how in fact I learn. What I do is, if we're talking about if, we got the basic idea. That's great. Let's move next, so that in between, after some time, again we'll be using if, and there are certain things we'll explain on the go. So this is how if works. Again, this code will be available for you. Let me just create a new file. Or maybe I will just type it, how much time it takes. So this code will be available tomorrow, everyone, don't worry. Okay, now let's go for the next concept. Let's go for a simple if condition, a simple one. Let's say I have a number. Let's call this time num. And I have this number which has a value which is 5. And I want to do one of the most easiest thing with this, which is checking if the value is You're checking if the value is even or odd. And everyone knows the concept of even odd, right? We simply divide this number by 2. If you're getting the remainder as 0, then it is even, otherwise it is false. Okay, everyone, wait for Menti. It will be coming. Once I complete this topic, we'll start with the Menti. Don't worry. Okay, so we got int num is equal to 5. So what I want to do is I want to check if this number is even or odd. So the way you do that, first of all, how do we find a remainder? So let's say I have result here and I want to store the remainder. So what I will do is I will say num, and for the remainder we have seen a operator, right, which is percentage. So you say num percentage 2. This will give you the remainder of this number divided by 2. Let me print the result here. And you can see we got 1. So this is how you get a remainder, right? This is the equation. So that is good. But what I want to do is I want to check if it is even or odd. Instead of printing 1 or 0, I want to print even or odd. So I want to print even here. So I want to print even only when this number is even. So we can check if result is equal to 0. That's how we do it, right? If the result is equal to 0, then only you will print even, and else will print odd. And if you have observed, what I'm doing is after every block I'm giving a tab. Basically, this is called indentation. This makes your code look good. This makes your code more readable. So always do this when you're coding. Always follow indentation, use proper variable names, and do that. It looks good. Okay, so basically what we're doing here is we are trying to print these things here. Okay, and it should work. And you can see we got odd. This is one way. Another way of doing this is, what if I just save this value even in a variable? So I would say output is equal to, and I want to save even. And then I will initially I will just have it's blank variable, and here only in one go I want to print is it even or odd. So what I'm doing is, instead of printing it here, which we are doing, I don't want to print here. I want to assign, instead of printing it here, something like this. Maybe I can just assign the value even to this variable, and I can assign output as odd. Even this should work, right? Okay, so we got a super chat from Abhinav, and the question is, sir, are you providing placement assistance in Java Stack? Yes. There will be placement assistant, there will be internship as well, there will be interview preparation as well. The only thing which we are not giving is job guarantee, because for job guarantee we have to tie up with different companies, which is on the way. As of now, we are focusing on job ready program. So internship is there, then interview sessions are there. It will be a very extensive course for you. Okay, so this is how you do it, right? So basically, instead of printing it, we are assigning the value. Now, the only thing you have to remember is this variable is not working. Output is giving you error. It's because whenever you create a variable, you need to provide the type of it, which is string. So at this point, we have talked about integer, float, character, but we have not talked about string, right? So whenever you have a string format, text format, you have to specify the type as string. The only difference is integer, float, all those things are primitive. They are basic types. String is a bit advanced. String is of type of class. Again, once we start with class, we'll understand more. As of now, remember, if you want to store a string, always put that in a string variable or text in a string variable. Kostov says, who is interested in job when you can do a startup? That is right. Learn the technology and build your own startup. Okay, now what do you think? Will it work? I'm assigning a value and let's run this code. And you can see we got odd because 5 is an odd number. But if I say 8, and if you can see we got even. Okay, so let's see the execution of this code. What is happening is this is executing. So the number of the value for num is 8. Then we are saying num is num percentage 2, which is going into result, which is 0 in this case. And then we got a variable which is output, which is blank at this point. And then we are checking if result, which is actually 0, is equal to 0, print even, which is happening, else print odd. It's so simple, right? In fact, we can just do some customization in this thing here. Okay, Kavya says 1 hour is very less. That's right. And that's why we are extending it to 1.5. So it might get over by 8:30. Okay, so what we can do here is, don't you think instead of performing operation here, we can just cut this part and replace result itself? So we don't have to work with extra variable. And you know, every variable is important. So don't waste your memory in excessive variables. Awesome. And now, what else we have? Okay, the moment I mentioned about the course, I got 2 registration. That's great. Thank you for that question. So again, we'll discuss about the course content as well after this example. Maybe some few people are still confused about the course which is coming up. So we'll talk about it. Okay, awesome. So we got this num percentage 2 is equal to 0. So we are checking it. One more thing, you know, if else is great. So whenever you have a big block of statement, if else makes sense. But we have a better way of doing it. Not better way, but then a shortcut. So we'll write the same statement with something else. And that something else is called ternary operator. Okay, so which is ternary operator. Oh, I wanted to write it's a notes. So whenever you have something on in your block and we don't want to execute that statement, I don't want to execute this statement. This is just a notes for us. So if you want to write notes or something, you can write comments. And the way you write comments in Java, you use /. If you have 1-line comment, if you have multi-line comment, you can simply say /%. Just do that. So if you have a multi-line comment, you can do it like that. So you can say /, and this is how you write multi-line comment. This is the Java course by Naveen Reddy on Telusko channel. So if you have multiple statements, you can use this syntax. If you have one statement, you can simply use /. In fact, there's one more in Java. If you want to create documentations out of your code, just say /. So /, it becomes a documentation. So there's I don't know if you know about this concept. There's a concept of Java docs. You can create a doc of your code just by mentioning /. And there are some tools available using which you can actually build those docs. Or maybe we'll see that sometime. You can build, yeah, you can see that in tools, we have a generate. Okay, I don't know if you can see tools, but there's an option of generate Java doc. You can click on that. It will create a documentation for this. For the whole project, no, I just want to create a Java doc for this particular file. Output directory, go to my desktop, or maybe I can do it here itself. Open, generate, no public operator. Okay, you have to make a public class. Okay, we'll discuss that later because there are certain things we have to mention. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, documentation is good. See, there was a question from Krishna. See, every time you write a code, it's important for you to create documentation because it will be helpful for others. So example, if someone is trying to understand your project, if you write proper documentation, what is your class name, how many methods you have, how many variables you have, what method does what, it will be helpful for them to understand what you're doing. Okay, great. Yes, mentees are on the way. Once we complete this, we'll start with mentee as well. We have 5 more questions and the winners will get a reward. Don't worry. Okay, so basically we want to do the same thing with the help of ternary operator. And the symbol for ternary operator is question mark colon. Okay, remember the syntax here. So how do we convert this part? It's very simple. See, ultimately, after this, you want to save something in the output, right? In the output variable, either you are putting even or you're putting odd. So what you can do is you can say output is equal to. So in this output, it will be either even or it will be odd. That's what you want to store, right? So you can achieve that by putting a condition just here itself. So whatever your condition you have here, just take this condition and put the condition here and separate this with a question mark. It is as simple as that. So question mark colon. So what it does is it will check for the condition. If this condition is true, it will take this particular block. So whatever is after the question mark, it will take this question, it will take this and it will assign to output. If this is false, in this case, it will take something which is after this colon. Okay, so this is equal to this. I know you would be saying this is much better. This is good. Ternary operator is good, but it has a specific use case. So when you want to use, when you have a small condition, you want to do that in one line, ternary works. But normally when you write big code, your if block is actually a very big block. So most of the time we are going to use if else. Ternary is an optional stuff. So at this point, I don't want to execute this statement. I don't want to delete this statement. I don't want it to be executed. In that case, you can just say, select the code and say control / in Windows, command / in Mac. And now let's run this. Let's verify if it is still working. And you can see we got even. It is still working. Okay. I hope you got the point, right? We have talked about if else, we have talked about ternary. Yes, we were supposed to start with loops as well, but I don't think we have enough time to start with loops. And few people were having question regarding the Java course. Let me just. So yeah, we'll start with the Menti in some time, everyone. Okay, just wanted to talk about the Java course because there were some people who were asking questions on this. Where should I put myself? Okay, so basically this is a Java course which is coming up, and this is an in-depth course. You have a question regarding the timing as well. The timing is 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and unfortunately at this point I can't change it. It's fixed. And it will be happening on Saturday and Sunday only. So it is 9 to 12. The thing is, it may go from 9 to 1 because after this session, we have a doubt solving for 2 hours. So this is not just one-way communication on YouTube. That's one of the issue. After this, we'll be having doubt solving sessions as well. And luckily, we have a good team to solve your doubts, maybe through mail, in the live session itself. And this is a 6 months live program, and they look at the cost. I know looking at the cost, it looks weird. But yeah, there's a question from Praveen. There's an offer. Yes, there's an offer. When you enroll for the course, use the code which is Telusko 10. Can you see that on top? In fact, if you can use a link which is mentioned in the pinned comment, you will get 10% discount. So this course deals with Java basics, loops, OOPS concept. If you go down, we have exception handling, everything, the entire core Java, which is we are going to do here itself. But then apart from this, we have JDBC, Hibernate, Servlet, and one of the most important framework for Java, which is Spring. And for a twist, we have Docker as well, and the most important microservices. So I will be your lead trainer, and we have a co-trainer who is Haider Abbas, who has experience of almost 6 years in Java training. He's also a corporate trainer, and this will be a top level course. Yeah, so if you have enough time, you can check it out. Link is available in description, and link is also available in the pinned comment. Now with this, it's time for the Menti. Okay. So let me start with the Menti. I hope you are still there. As I mentioned, winners will be getting points. Menti is back, everyone. Okay, Anmol says, excited to join this course. Okay, so if you want to join a course, it's very simple. Use that link and you can click on enroll. Use the code, you will get 10% off. Jagdish says you need to. So, see, all these sessions will be recorded as well. So, if you can't watch live, you can just watch it later as well. Chinda says, is this a live course? Yes, it's a live course. 9 to 12 every weekend. Madan says, sir, explain about blockchain developer course. See, for blockchain developer course, I'll be releasing a separate video on that and all the details. Okay, so come on everyone, join the Menti. So how do we join the Menti? It's very simple. You can just go to menti.com and use that code. Otherwise, I'm sharing the link in the description, in the chat. Use that link and join Menti. So we have 5 more questions. Winners will get the prizes. In fact, before that, I just want to talk about one more concept and then we'll go towards Menti, because in Menti, we might have that question. See, we have talked about these classes as well, right? So when we talk about class, when we talk about variables and this stuff, all these things are actually called, so whatever variable, whatever class name or variable name you give, they are actually called identifiers. So alien, which I have created, age, code, that's my names which I've given. So that's identifiers. Okay. Now let's go back to this Mentimeter. Cool. Let's start with the questions. Okay, Shiva says, may I know the difference between your course and paid course? Paid course is in depth. The sessions which we are doing now is only for core Java. The paid course will be having the entire Java stack. Okay, so let's start with the quiz. 5th question coming on your screen, everyone. Sorry, 6th question. I hope you're all set. 6th question coming on your screen. Let's say winners will get the prizes here. What is the outcome of Java code snippet below? A equal to 5, B equal to 0, and then we have an operation. Come on, quick. Don't rush actually. Do it and then answer. And okay, majority of you are saying 12 and that is correct. Now, how it is 12? Let me just explain that here on my screen. So the way you got that 12 is, see, the value of A initially is 5, B is 0, and the operation we are performing is B equal to A plus 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 A, right? Now this is the operation. So initial value of A is 5, so this is a post increment, so 5 will come out as it is. Then the value of A will be going to 6. The new value will be 6. And then this is pre-increment. This is post-increment. This is pre-increment. So here it will first increment the value. So the value will become 7. And the value of A becomes 7. Right? So 5 plus 7 is 12. That's how we got it. Okay, question from Raghav. Could you provide extra discount to Menti toppers? Come on, the price itself is 4,000. How much discount you want? The actual fees for this course, if you look at other competition, we have the course fees is around 2 lakh rupees. Okay, so the course duration will be 6 months. So just go to that page, just use the link, the course link. All the information is available there. Okay, next question coming on your screen. Question number 7. Here we go. Size of int in Java is simple one. Come on, you can do it. Okay. See, you will find the Menti code on top. Can you see that? Menti.com, and then there's a code as well. Use that code and you can join. Okay, majority of you are saying 4 byte, and that is correct. For short, we have 2 bytes. For long, we have 8 bytes. So int is of size 4 byte. Okay, Varshit says your teaching cost more than 2 lakhs. Maybe. And let's see the leaderboard now. Okay, there might be some changes if you have joined from the start. Okay, I guess Prem is a new entry here. And Mr. Gopal is a new entry, if I'm not wrong. Great. So top 3 is not changing. That is all. That is awesome. Next question. Eighth question coming on your screen, everyone. 3 more questions to go. You can still win this game. Which of the following data types is an implementation of objects? So all these things are small characters, okay? Not capital. Okay, none of the above. All these are primitive. Okay, Lohit says you worth 10 lakhs. You can't put a price, right? Okay. Okay, 2 more questions to go. Here we go. Choose the compound assignment arithmetic operator in Java below. Basically, I'm talking about the shortcut here. So the shortcut which we tried yesterday. Which one is the arithmetic operator? And the answer is all the above. So you can use all here. Yes, we tried plus equal to, but then it's all of the above. And let's see the leaderboard with this. And let's see who do we have a change in the leaderboard now. Okay, we got Kushi on top, then we got Nikki and Prachi. Okay, there is some change in the leaderboard. Adit is in top 10 now. Manish is also there. Sai Shravani is also there. That is great. Awesome. And now we have the 10th question coming on your screen. Are you all set for the 10th question? Come on, winners will get the prizes as I mentioned before. So what you have to do is, before we go for the next question, if you are the winner, take a screenshot of your phone, not of the dashboard, of your phone, and send it on the Instagram. You will find the Instagram link. Do we have it in the chat? So if you can share it in the chat. So you can follow me on Instagram, which is Navin Reddy Official, and you can send your details there. Send me the screenshot and your UPI ID. Okay, last question, everyone. Coming on your screen. Here we go. 10th question. Which of the following values can be Boolean variable have? Choose the appropriate answer, the best answer in this. 3, 2, 1, time up. And let's see. Okay, majority of you are saying true or false, and that is correct. Congratulations. And now it's time for the leaderboard. So if you are on the top 3, please send the screenshot on Instagram. And let's see the results. Are you excited, everyone, to see the results? So here we go. The leaderboard for today coming here. And okay, is there any change in top 3? I don't think so. So the winner for today is Khushi. Congrats, Khushi. So we got Khushi, Prachi, and Nikki, top 3. Congrats. Maybe everyone, you can have a virtual claps in the chat. And again, right, winning is not always important. It's also important that you participated, you tried your best. As sort of says 67th, and you're still happy. That's great. And every day you have to be on. You just have to be on top here. So Khushi, Prachi, Nikki, if you're there, say hi in the chat as well, and do send this screenshot on Instagram. We'll transfer it as soon as possible. Have you got any messages on Instagram? So I'm just checking everyone if we got. So yeah, don't worry, we'll transfer it ASAP once we get your thing. And by the time you can just explore this course. Okay, okay. Okay, we got the message from Nikhil. Message. Huh? Oh, send it on Navin Reddy official, everyone. Okay, Nikhil, I can't see the photos, unfortunately. Okay, so we got the message from. Okay, ये कल का है. Dheeraj, if you are claiming that you won, please send the screenshot. Once we verify, you got a message from who? Nikhil. Okay, let's verify if Nikhil is the winner. Okay, Nikhil, you are verified. Please send your UPI. We'll send to transfer. Nikhil is what? Second or third? Okay, Nikhil is third. You can transfer 1,000 to Nikhil. And ये किसका है? अच्छा, खुशी. Okay, Kushi, you got the first prize. Send your UPI ID and we'll transfer it. Please send your UPI ID, everyone. I mean, not everyone, top 3. Okay. Yeah, we got message from Prachi as well. So Harsh, you can just do the transfers, please. Please send your UPI ID and Harsh will do the transfer. And by the time Harsh is doing that, let's take up some questions from the screen. If you want to know more about the courses, you can just use a link there on top. Abhay says, what's the winning prize? The winning prize is very simple. It's it's total 5,000, 2,500 for the first winner, 1,500 for the second winner, and 1,000 for the third winner. Okay, Pratyush says only one answer was incorrect. That's the thing, right? You have to be all correct. Okay, Datta says, when are we going to start with the blockchain course? Next month, 16th of July, exactly after 1 month, we are starting with the blockchain course. You can check out the course on the website. Okay. Let me see if they have already published it here. Let me share the link for the blockchain course as well, and you can enroll there. 1,000. Third prize is 1,000. Kriti says, had a great time learning. That's important, right? See, I don't care if you win or if you lose. For me, it's important is, have you learned something from this session? Because even if you learn something, it will be helpful for your future. You may be earning lakhs out of it. Okay. Any tips for the automation engineer? Uh, do follow the live session of Mukesh Otwani, which is available on his channel. He will be the best person to guide you there. Okay, next quiz tomorrow again 7 p.m. every day 7 p.m. we are going to start with the Java classes, Java sessions. Sai says, in Java paid course, do you provide recorded videos as well? Yes, once you see after every live session, the recorded video will be available for the lifetime access. So you can watch it anytime. Gaurav says, are there any prerequisites for the course? No, you can just join the session. In fact, the YouTube videos, these videos are prerequisites. You can join the course, we'll start from the base. Mono Gaming says, please do another giveaway. That's we are doing it. So every weekend, so on Friday, maybe in tomorrow's session, I will give you the assignment. And if you complete the assignment, you will get the reward. This time it's not cash prize. We'll give you some goodies. Khushi is first prize. Nikhil is third. Yes. Prachi is second. Khushi is first. So transfer 2,500 to Khushi, 1,500 to Prachi. Who's the second one? Prachi, and 1,000 to Nikhil. Any transfer done yet? Nikhil done. Nikhil, please let me know in the chat if you have received your reward. And others, you can just leave. You can enjoy your night. Or you can go to the live session of Hitesh Chaudhary. I guess it already started. Yes, the live session already started there. Which technology is better, Java or blockchain? We don't have a or condition here. You have to learn both because while you're doing blockchain development, you can also use Java there. Prerequisite for blockchain? Nothing. In fact, we are starting blockchain from base. Even we are teaching you HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So it's going to be start from basic. In paid course, again, are you going to teach Java? Yes. But then this time it is full stack Java. So I mean the entire Java stack. Java, I mean core Java, Hibernate, JDBC, Servlet, JSP, Spring, microservices. Okay, you want blockchain course link. Let me share that once again. And here we go. So I've shared the blockchain course link. You can join there. Madan says, so thank you so much for 1.5 hours of great session. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. So make sure that you hit that like button before leaving. Ayu says, will the course will cover complete Java, Spring Boot? Yes, everything. Complete Java, Spring Boot as well, and Java 8 features. In fact, we are planning for Java 11 features as well, but that's under planning. So real Nikhil, if you can comment in the chat if you have received the amount. That's the problem with Nikhil says not received yet. Huh? Okay, Nikhil, you have received the screenshot. Don't worry, we'll transfer everything and see you in the, the amount. See you in the next live session, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care.